Hi everybody, how's everybody doing today? Today I came back to you to talk about narcissistic sociopaths and malignant narcissists at the workplace. So, what do they do at the workplace? What is it that they do? Someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder is someone who lacks empathy, no conscience, no feeling of guilt or remorse. They get offended very easily. They are very sensitive, even though that they would never admit that they are sensitive, but they are extremely sensitive and fragile. And what are some of the things that someone who's a narcissistic sociopath or a malignant narcissist does at the workplace? So I know this because I experienced this and I have experienced this before at the workplace. So maybe if I'm going to talk about it, it will help other people who would relate to it and will be able to know what's really happening to them at the workplace. So, someone who's a narcissistic sociopath at the workplace, what they do is that let's say you have a narcissistic sociopath manager, like I do. So, what he does is he pretends that he is friends with everyone, but he really isn't. So he makes every one of his employees, for the most part, I mean, every malignant narcissist is not completely aware that they are malignant narcissists. I think a lot of them, they are really unaware. They do realize that they can be toxic, but they are not necessarily aware that they have NPD and that they have antisocial personality disorder. But what your malignant narcissist manager would do, I mean, in my case, what he does is he makes everyone feel that he is friends with them and he is the closest one to them. But in reality, he gives this impression to everyone, every single one of his employees. He manipulates his employees against each other, which basically means divide and conquer. So he manipulates his staff against each other and he spoils one of them. He takes one of the staff, one of his employees, and spoils him and turns him into a main source of narcissistic supply, a flying monkey, someone who would do his bidding for him. So he does that. So once he starts noticing that this is not working anymore, he does the same thing with someone else. He makes another staff member feels that he is his favorite and starts spoiling them, and he makes him like his little spy. And what he basically does is he asks favors from his staff, like, for example, do this thing for me or do that thing for me. He asks everyone to do specific minor things for him in order to see who is the one who listens to him the most, who is the one that is most submissive and compliant. So once that person is no longer of use to him, is no longer good to him, he replaces him with another person. And he tries to make his first favorite person clash with the new favorite person. So he notices what are some of the things that you don't like, and he tries to, like, let's say he tries to manipulate your schedule. He tries to give you the shifts that you do not prefer, that you don't like, in order to frustrate you, in order to make you beg, in order to put you in your place, in order to show you that he's superior and you are inferior, and you should go back to him and beg him and plead with him in order for him to make you his favorite again. But if you do that, this will not work, because he will notice that you are weak, and he will keep on hurting you and taunting you, and he will enjoy seeing you squirm and suffer. So that's what your malignant narcissist manager would do to you. He would also, if you became a problem for him, which means you started noticing his ways, his manipulations, his deceptive ways, you noticed that he is not the person that he claims to be. You start noticing the manipulation, the lying. You start noticing that he is manipulating everyone. So you don't like that anymore. So you notice him, you see through him. So what he starts doing, he starts turning all of the other staff and all of the employees against you. He brainwashes them against you. He makes you look like you are a monster, like you are the bad person, like you are the troublemaker, that you are the difficult employee. And he uses pity play. He starts saying things such as, I was really good to him, but look how he is talking about me behind my back, even though he is the one who is doing this. So he starts saying bad things about you to the other staff members in order to turn them against you and make your job very difficult and very toxic. And he enjoys doing that, because this is, now you have seen how horrible he is. Now he wants to get rid of you. And what is better than making everyone else hate you and making your stay at the job really difficult and stressful? And that's his best method to it is really the smear campaign. So what your malignant narcissist manager would do to you is he will smear campaign you in front of the other managers, in front of the other staff members. He will turn them against you. And a lot of them would notice that this is what is happening. But they stay silent because they want to keep their job, because they want to stay neutral, and they don't want to get involved. And so they stay silent. And some of them, they may not stay silent, but this is what he does. He starts turning all of the other staff members against you. He will, smear campaign you to everyone. He will manipulate your shifts. He will give you difficult shifts. You will tell him, I need a morning shift, and he will give you an evening shift, just because he knows that this is what you want, and he knows if he is going to give you the shift that he knows that if he's going to play with that shift, that this will provoke you and this will frustrate you, and he enjoys doing that, and he seeks an emotional reaction. So he seeks an emotional reaction. He's trying to bait you. He's trying to do something that will get an emotional reaction out of you. And once he gets that emotional reaction out of you, that gives him a sense of satisfaction. It makes him feel superior. It makes him full with narcissistic supply. He loves that. It gives him a rush, a thrill. So whenever the malignant narcissist manager tries to provoke you and get an emotional reaction out of you, don't give him that, because this is where he wins. So the best strategy is not to give him an emotional reaction, to ignore, keep on ignoring, and that's fine. Like, he would send a message You can see it. You can say, okay, you can give him like a thumbs up, but don't give him too much and ignore, like really ignore. That will make you win and that will make him lose. I know that my malignant narcissist manager, he's not really good at manipulation though. He doesn't seem like he's good at manipulation. He knows that there is this other staff that I really dislike. And he turned her before. He never really liked her. So when he didn't like her, he smeared campaign her. He used other staff members against her. Now that he doesn't like me, he went to her and he created an alliance with her, and now he is using her, and she knows that. He's using her and he is teaming up with her to frustrate me and to make me and to give me a really horrible time at work. And really it's not really working because I know that this is what's happening. So like let's say he's giving her like the shift that I was supposed to have, and he expects that I will give him an emotional reaction and he will see me frustrated. But really I'm not frustrated. I'm okay with it because I know that this is what's happening. So it's because I have figured him out and I know what he's doing. So if I keep composure and stay silent and I see the schedule of the work and not give any emotional reaction, that will make him have a narcissistic injury and he will become a deflated narcissist. So every time I go to work, I see his face. He looks like he is about to pass out. He looks like he has really low energy. He is ill. He is physically ill. He is in physical pain because he manipulates and he's trying to get me frustrated, but I'm really silent, I'm quiet, I'm not giving him the reactions, the thrill, the narcissistic supply that he requires, and that creates within him a narcissistic injury. So that is what the narcissistic sociopath, the malignant narcissist manager would do to his employees, is that he will turn them against each other. He will manipulate them against each other. And once he realizes that you are creating problems for him and that you have figured him out, what he will do is that he will turn the other staff members against you. He will manipulate them and he will smear campaign you. He will smear campaign to the fullest. I mean, it can be really intense. But the best strategy is to be quiet, not give him an emotional reaction, not show him that what he's doing is affecting you. And that will give him a huge narcissistic injury. And it will show him that he's really not intelligent. And whatever he's doing is really not working and is not giving him the results that he is seeking. So he will not be able to win. Once all of this becomes too toxic, then it is time to leave. And when you leave, it's very nice to leave with a bang. You can say and write in your resignation paper that you have quit the job due to the mistreatment and psychological abuse of your manager, and that he turned the work environment into such a toxic environment. And you can simply leave because you really don't have to stay in a place that is extremely toxic like that. So I hope that this audio recording is helpful, and I'm planning to do other audio recordings about narcissism and malignant narcissists like that, because these are things that I have experienced, and I know a lot about psychology, and I think this will be very beneficial to a lot of people. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.